This is a book review about the book Flight from the Dark by Joe Dever. This book review will include a synopsis of books without spoilers and what makes this book different from the other British fantasy books. This book takes place in the medieval time period. Lone Wolf is a boy that has just recently had a problem happen where he lives. Lone Wolf is a warrior or a soldier. Lone Wolf is a Kai. The problem that had just happened is that there has just recently been an attack on the people of the Kai from the Dark Evil Lords. The evil Dark Lord killed all of the Kais, and Lone Wolf is the only one left. It is his job to go to the king and warn him about the evil Dark Lord that is coming. Lone Wolf has to go through many obstacles on his mission to warn the king. At the beginning of the book, the reader has to choose their displans, which are powers. The reader also chooses what they have in their backpack. The things that can go in their backpack are the things such as weapons. The reader gets to choose which skills they have and their endurance. The reader has to use a random number sheet given to them at the beginning of the book to determine what skills they end up getting. The way it works is the reader has to close their eyes and pick a random number. That determines your endurance and combat skills. The reader reads the book and chooses different paths for them to go down. Each person has their own choices that they make and have to make. If you are a risky person, you can choose a riskier path and so on. You make your decisions based off of what interests you. Flight from the Dark is not like any other book. It is not a book that you can just sit down and read. You as a reader has to interact throughout the book to get an outcome. The decisions that the reader makes influences what outcome the book has and the events that happen. Throughout the book, it is a very unique kind of book. I have never read a book like this before, but it is very interesting. I personally play video games and I like them. And so far it reminded me of playing a video game while reading it because you got to choose the events that were going to take place and kind of a guide yourself through the book. I did not know what to expect when I first started reading about what kind of book it was. To be completely honest, I did not think that I was going to like it, but it was not bad at all. It did not make me feel like I was reading a book. Like I said before, it was more like playing a video game. I think that it is very cool that no matter how many times you read the book, it will not be the exact same. Whenever you read a normal book, you normally just read it one time and then you don't read it again because the outcome will be the same. That is not the case with Flight from the Dark. It's a book that you can read many times and have different outcomes each time. Not every reader will make the same events happen. With this book being so unique, I think that it has an ability to reach more than one group of people. The reader determines what happens so each person can make it interesting for them. Flight from the Dark is a different from other British fantasy books because in other British fantasy books you don't have the option to determine what happens. Other British fantasy books are like normal books. You can't choose your own paths and events that take place. Another way that it is different is because it's not as long as books like Harry Potter or so on. I think that it is important for people to take the time to read this book because it is very cool experience that I think everyone should experience. It makes you use your own thoughts and interests and basically write the rest of the book. You choose what is going to happen, so it is almost as if you are the author in a way. I recommend everyone to read this book at least one time just to experience it and see if they like it. It is something that I am glad I had a chance to read